The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe. We're going to be diving into 90s crushes. Girls maybe we saw on TV shows, movies, musical groups. We made our each own list. We're going to go back and forth and see who was on our 90s crush growing up for sure. It's going to be a good episode. Figure we theme it this way because of Valentine's Day. I do want to preface the episode with, we did have some audio issues, unfortunately. Hey, we're 3 weeks in, cut us some slack. We're still kind of working the kinks out, if you know what I mean. But we appreciate you guys coming back every week, listening, giving us that feedback. Much appreciated, guys. So without further ado, here's the latest episode of the Weekly Warp Pipe. Silence.
How is everyone doing today? Feeling
Not
good?
too bad. How's it going with you?
It's going okay. We're doing pretty well. It's pretty cold here. We got some snow this week.
Uh-oh.
So dealing
Big
with
day.
that. Yep, we're getting a little bit of snow right now, actually.
Do I call out of work tomorrow? I don't know.
No, it's supposed to change over to rain, so I think we'll be fine. I mean, I don't know about you though, because you're up in the hills, so
True.
I don't know how. Hey, speaking of which, how did you make out with the snow a few days ago? Because it's your first time like being snowed in, and like you have your
Right.
snowblower, and I know you have to go to work at like 4 a.m. So how'd it go?
Yeah. No snow blower. We have a shovel, but I was like, I'm just gonna floor it on the Subaru and get out of the driveway. I just went slow. I was leaving, I think about 4:15, 4:30 for work, and made it in. And a few people called out of work, and we just kind of took it slow. And I was just like, I could have called out. Had I called out, the bakery definitely would have been in trouble for sure, because there was no one there when I got there for 6 a.m. and no one showed up till 7. And then the next person was like 8 o'clock. And I was like, ugh.
So how much snow did you end up getting at your house?
It wasn't as much. They anticipated, I think, 8 inches, but it probably only maybe was half that, 4.
Okay. So not too bad. It wasn't too bad getting out of the driveway, because I don't know, Keith, I don't know if you know this, but Russ has like this now long driveway.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it like dirt or like stone or something?
No, it's asphalt.
It is asphalt. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. For some reason I thought there was like stones or something. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, you
Right.
got to get a plow for that thing.
Yeah, I'll probably invest in that maybe in the summer when they're cheaper.
Hook it up to the Mario Kart. Yeah, that'd be
Just
sick.
pin it to win it.
And
There you go. There you go. Well, how are the hills too? Because you live on some hills, so you got to go down hills and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed off the brakes and just kind of went down slowly. No one else was on the road, so I didn't have to worry about that. My only concern is because of how deep I am in the woods, like animals running across, and then you cause them to break and slide because of a deer.
Yeah. What about you, Keith? What have you been up to this week?
Lots of work. Busy.
Yeah.
I did play a handful of Nintendo games. Did work on a bit of a video that didn't pan out quite as well as I'd hoped. So now I'm scrambling to get caught up, but hopefully I'll be able to have something. I played Spy versus Spy, which is one that I used to rent a lot as a kid. It's Spy Hunter, a little bit of Sid Meier's Pirates on the NES, which is kind of a hidden gem. A little bit of that and just lots of work in between. Very cold here for a couple of days. So battled through that at work, and hopefully it's onward onto spring. Any luck at all.
What is spring there? Like 40 degrees?
I don't. It's not hot for sure. It can be pretty hot for sure, but
Yeah.
probably not quite the same.
Then you're playing some Spy versus Spy. That's pretty on brand with last week's Wheel of Doom.
Right? Absolutely. I
Mad
was thinking that
Magazine.
while I was playing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And what about you, Russ? What have you been doing?
I just put out a new video of the final move for the house. It was our last U-Haul truck that we had to get. Did 3 trips, and I kind of put that together. And then towards the end of the video, I do a very brief like tour of the house and show off the game room. I finished editing that last night. I put it up at like 9 p.m. I was like, you know what? Let me just put it up now and just because I wanted to watch it with the wife. And I was like, I'll see if it get any views. And yeah, it got like, I think almost like 200 views yesterday. It's over 300 now. So it's getting some
Nice.
traction. It's a little longer video, I think 25 minutes.
It was good. I watched it today. I kicked back, got some snacks, and watched you move into your house.
Yeah. So now we're in here. Now the videos can shift more towards, all right, this one's organizing the game room. This one's I'm working on my Pac-Man arcade cabinet. So there'll be a video for that. And I do still have to record a video for the Nintendo series, see which Nintendo game I'm going to be playing this week.
You do that with just a random wheel, right? So you don't know what you're going to play yet.
Yeah, I had the people give me suggestions essentially, and just how we do our Wheel of Doom. I use the same website. It spins, and then I'm like, okay, cool, that game. And if I have it, I'll physically take it out, show it off, get some stuff with that. If not, I'm gonna use the NES Classic that I have that's modded that has all the NES games on it. So this way,
Hmm.
that way. But if I can, I'll use the original hardware. And I've been using the Retro Tank 5X to get the game footage, and it's looking pretty good. Today, we just ended up streaming Famicom games. I have a Famicom that's modded, and I bought a few games for it. And I was like, you know what? Never played them or tested them. There was 3 games I got from SoCal. So
You
I
did,
Okay,
yeah.
nice.
literally didn't even touch them till I got here. So it was this
Nice.
King Kong game, this like Western looking game, and some game called Flappy that was like a puzzle game. So we played those tonight stream. It's pretty interesting.
So how are they? 'Cause I don't think I've ever played a Famicom game.
Yeah, the Flappy game puzzle game didn't really like it. It was okay. The Western style game was pretty unique. You start off running on a train, you run across the
Hmm.
top of it, drop in, and then come across. And then when that's done, it switches to like almost like a top down view, like Zelda, and you're kind of
Oh, cool.
walking around. It was interesting enough. I kind of got lost a little bit, but it was pretty good for what it was. And we popped in. King Kong was wild. Uh,
It looked
it
cool.
was. It had some pretty neat music, and yeah, it it's kind of reminded me of like Akira Warriors, but you're King
Okay,
Kong, like that
okay.
top down, and you're King Kong, and you can punch or throw rocks or like jump and smash people.
Hmm.
But then they like went way overboard and like, okay, I thought it was just gonna be like go to the top of the screen and then you fight a boss, move on to the next
Right.
level. But it was like you going and then you find this door and then it goes into like a dungeon and then you get like this power up and then it warps you and then you continue on and it doesn't really tell you when you're on to the next level. Kind of got confusing. We played it for about half an hour. The music was pretty good. It was a little trippy with some of the effects and stuff, but
Do you
fair enough.
climb buildings at all in it?
No, like, it opened up with the scene, and I thought maybe it was gonna be like Rampage, like you're
Hmm.
destroying buildings, but no.
Right.
I mean, maybe in later levels, I don't know, but
Okay. No Game
It had
Genie for
a
that one.
it had
no.
a feel to something else. I can't remember what game it, especially
What
when you were
game it's
going,
like.
like, into the dungeons.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was King's Night, but I don't think it's King's Night that it reminds me of.
Mm,
I'll
okay.
figure out which one it is, but there's definitely when you were in those dungeons, it felt like another game. I've seen that somewhere before. So,
nice. That's pretty cool.
Could say bring up some quick gameplay if you kinda wanna, I guess, see what this looks like here. Go in here.
Now,
Alright.
when you were at SoCal and you were going through these games, was there anything in particular that made you pick these 3 games? Was it just the artwork?
Yeah, like, the artwork had King Kong on it, so I was like, "Okay," and I asked the guy
Okay,
if he knew anything about it, and I was like, "This looked cool." I figured a Western, maybe it's like a shooter or something like that,
okay. Did you
and,
happen to look up any gameplay before you bought it?
no,
Okay, so you went in blind.
yeah, I was like, "I guess I'll figure it out as I go."
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it
you
looks
just kinda
cool.
grabbed what was ever there, right?
right, I think I got the 3 games for, like, $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
But here's, like, some let's see, where's it? There's, like, a dungeon, almost like a Zelda dungeon that you go into. I can't stop it at where it is. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's got a cool concept. Maybe if I gave it some more time,
Mhm.
I can get a little bit further into it, but
Do you know the official name of it?
No. Some people in the chat were telling me the names, and I'm like butchering the Japanese of it.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I think I would play it.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the top-down levels of like Contra.
Right. Bit. Yeah, yeah.
Or
from
Master
Super
Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Fester's Quest.
Fester's Quest.
One of my favorites.
That's everybody's favorite.
I guess we could talk briefly. Didn't we go to a trade event, Dave?
We did. We went to Algo 7, which was themed virtual Nintendo. Every Algo, I think we might have mentioned a little bit about it in the last podcast. He's had 7 of these trade events, and each trade event he brands it as a different console. So this trade event was the Virtual
Boy.
Virtual Boy. Is that what it's called? I've never played it. I mean, I've played it a few times, but I think I got Vertigo or something when I was playing it. I know you play it every now and then, and you have a complete set, don't you? Like all the games and stuff.
I got all the games loose, and I actually have 2 consoles. I have complete in box 1, and then 1 in the Blockbuster video rental case.
And you have all the manuals as well.
Yeah. We ended up doing a deal. Dave came with me, and I bought it off the guy, and it was the console, all the games, and the manuals. He had the boxes previously, but he'd sold those, so couldn't get those.
And he also gave you, I think, an AC adapter in the box too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good set.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
Pulled up with the briefcase of money.
Right.
It's true. It really happened. There's a YouTube video on it. Go to Russ's channel and go check it out. Yeah, fun. But yeah, so I set up as a vendor, and I had bins and bins. Actually, I called Aldo, who is our friend that puts it on I think he does it like twice a year or something. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you happen to have an extra table?" I was already scheduled to be there, but I had so much stuff that I was like, you know what? If he's got some extra space, let me ask him if he's got. And funny enough, somebody had just canceled their table because they got sick. So he said, "Well, I'll put you in the corner. It's like a corner thing. You can set up on the corner there." And so I brought bins and bins and bins. I mean, Russ knows. Russ was there. He helped me load out. But yeah, I had a lot of toys, video games. Funny enough, though, like not a lot of people were buying video games from me. I had some Nintendo, I had some PlayStation, I had some retro, some modern, a little bit of mix of everything. I think some of the other video game vendors did pretty well, but for me personally, I didn't sell any video games. I just sold a lot of toys and collectibles and stuff. Although towards the end of the event, Russ and I we got together. We were trying to make a deal. I ended up making a deal for something that I've been after for a very, very, very long time. My good friend Rob has had this he's brought it to like a bunch of the algos, and every time I look at it, I kind of give him an offer. I kind of feel it out and see what we can do. He was at a certain number. I was at a certain number. We finally got to seal the deal this time. And Russ, I think, might have it on video, but I'll show you here. And I know, Keith, you're not really too active on Instagram, so you may have not have seen this, but check out this bad boy.
Nice.
See that? It's a sealed vintage Nintendo Mario backpack. And
Art on that is really cool.
On the back. The colors are great.
What's good is it's in a clear plastic bag, so this way you can still display it and not have to open it.
Yeah, I had it hanging on the wall over there, and I just took it down to show you guys. So
what does it have for really characters sweet. On there?
Yeah, so let's see if I can zoom in here. Let me see. There we go. I'm trying to zoom in, but okay. So anyway, it's got that like wild Bowser there. It's got a Hammer Brother. It's got a Goomba. Mario running with a mushroom. I don't know why he hasn't eaten it yet and becomes Super Mario and going after him. But I don't know what's underneath here just because I can't see. Oh, there's a There's a spiny under there too.
Yeah.
Like you could see a little bit of there. But yeah, and actually, I posted this on Facebook, and our good friend Tyler from My Retro Life commented and said that he had that exact same backpack as a kid in elementary school.
Nice.
So it was a pretty good event. I sold a bunch of stuff, and I think that his next one is going to be in October. So mark it on your calendars. There's a Facebook event page that you guys can check out. I think it's October 18th, if I'm not mistaken. And this time it's themed Xbox.
Yeah, the
So
original Xbox.
moving to the up, more modern now.
But I'll have a full recap video I'll be working on. That'll come out on my channel. So we'll see you on that. All right. Moving along. We got Warp Pipe Rental. Keith, tell the people what Warp Pipe Rental is all about.
Well, Warp Pipe Rental, every week we're going to pick a game that we will rent for the weekend, and we will give you our take on it, what we thought of it, tell you what we thought of the music, gameplay, graphics, stuff like that. You can also join along with us, pick out that game, try it out, and tell us what you think about it.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card, because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
Sweet. So yeah, last week we ended up renting Streets of Rage 2 on the Sega Genesis. We ended up switching it up because we were doing some NES. I said, let's give some Genesis some love. How about this cover? There's a lot going on.
Right?
A lot going on.
Jeez.
For sure.
There's a big fight going on, so you can see your main characters on here kicking some butt. I do like on the back that this guy with the baseball bat is positioned under the don't walk sign, so it almost looks like he's wearing it.
Yeah, that is pretty good. I do like that. That's fun.
1 to 2 players, beat 'em up action. There's a couple screenshots on the back here. You might have played this in the arcade, and now you can bring it home on the Sega Genesis and play some Streets of Rage 2. Certainly some fantastic music in this game.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I love beat 'em up, so I think that this is the music though gets it for me. Like as soon as you power it on and you have that like intro, and it's almost like a synthwave intro with the telling the story with the city and everything like
Mhm.
that. And then it goes right into that first track for the first level. Top notch top notch soundtrack in my opinion.
Now, who
That
who
like
did you guys play as? I will say there's 4 playable characters. You can
Mhm.
pick Max, Axel, Blaze, and Skate. So Max is your slow, strong guy.
Mhm.
Axel kind of mid balance. Uh, Blaze is a little bit quicker. That's the girl. And
Yep.
Skate actually has roller skates on, so he's the fastest but also the weakest.
Right. I'm usually Max. That's
Oh, okay.
I like going with the power. I love his power moves, when he does the spin and all of that stuff. Um yeah, I just always gravitated to I think I just he's just he may be slow, but like he's powerful, and I think that that's kind of the way I played it is where I wanted to kind of like plow through the enemies and just have that power factor.
Gotcha. What about you, Keith?
same as me. That's who I picked as well. I
Oh,
like that he
wow.
was like big and strong. I've never played a Streets of Rage game until this one. So it kind of made me want to play the other ones because like the
Mhm.
graphics were great. That character I loved playing as him. I love there's like a slide move you can do, like
Yep.
forward and hit the button and you'll slide. I kept using that and it was great. I didn't realize that using like the special move
Right.
was
Use
Mhm.
taking
energy.
like health off at the start.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it was a little rough at the start there for me, but yeah,
Yeah.
Max was
Who do
awesome.
you
I
use,
like playing
Russ?
as him.
I did do Axel all the
Okay.
way through there. And what's funny is I didn't realize, as you continue through the stages, I started to learn some of the moves better. So if you hit like four forward in the punch
Hmm.
button, he kind of does this like slide uppercut thing, and I was like, oh, and
Hmm.
it doesn't take health away. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
want to be using that.
Yeah. Um,
100% me too.
and I feel like this is the best in the series for Streets of Rage. So I don't know if you guys have played the other ones. Um, Now, isn't if memory serves me correctly, is Final Fight part of this series?
No, no, that's a different genre, or I
It's
mean,
not
different,
different
This
not
was
character
like
genre,
though.
same
this was like
concept,
their
basically.
response, right? This
Right,
was
Okay,
Sega's response to Final Fight, kind of. I think
so
from
Final
the
Fight
limited
was just
research I
Super
did.
Nintendo
right, in the arcade.
Yeah,
in the arcade. Okay, got you. Um, do you and I Russ knows about this. I don't know if Keith you know because I don't think Keith you own a Switch. But I don't
no.
know if it's on other consoles. But a couple years ago, Russ and I discovered another game that's on the Switch called Raging Justice. You remember that game, Russ?
Yeah, right, right.
So
Basically,
there's a
a
game
rip
called
off. Like,
Raging Justice, and it's yeah, if you could pull up gameplay of it, that would be great. Uh, it's basically like a Streets of Rage 2 ripoff game, and it's super super fun, and it's just updated graphics. Music is great. So if you ever get a chance, I don't know if it's on the PlayStation Network or Xbox, but if you could look up Raging Justice, it's there. It is right there. Like this game is awesome. It's so good. Look at it.
That
but
claim,
I guess it's a review
Is
of
that it?
or whatever. Yeah,
Oh
this is.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's
I
so
mean,
good.
I will say I never even played the newer. There's a Streets of Rage 4 that came out, so I haven't gotten
Yeah.
it yet. So I've
Hmm.
stuck in the past with the original one here. Some stages I did want to point out I thought was pretty cool. I thought David would have got a kick out of this. You go through a baseball stadium, and then
Yep.
you go down like this platform into like
Hmm.
whatever. And I think eventually you get into a alien themed room. Like you're in a carnival. This might be before the baseball area, but I remember going through
Yep.
a carnival and then you're going
Yep.
in and there's literally the alien eggs from the movie Alien.
Yes,
Like
I
you
do
can
remember that.
punch.
Yes.
I thought
Yeah.
that was
they
pretty
blow
unique.
up, right?
Yeah, if you hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
How
using
far did you
those to
guys
take out
get?
enemies.
Now I will
How,
say I had to play this on my SNES Classic. So in order
okay.
to get some play through for the weekend, I save state it. So I did beat the game
Okay.
within some different days, saving and not in one sitting. But and I was playing on easy, and it still was pretty difficult once I got towards the end.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like I remember I didn't play it for a crazy amount of time this weekend just because I had Algo and I had some other things going on. But I do remember playing this as a kid, and I do remember getting to the end. Funnily enough, like I don't know, like I think I maybe played on easy. I'm not really sure, but I do remember beating this straight through back in the day. So um, another another thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys about this game is I think I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but are you guys fans of homebrews at all?
I think I know where you're going with this.
You
Yes.
know where I'm going with this? So, Keith, how good did you enjoy this game? Would you play another rendition of this game?
I think so, yeah. It was
Okay.
I enjoyed it quite a lot, more than I thought I
Okay.
was going to.
Have you ever played Shredder's Revenge
Like
on
the Turtles
any
one?
console? The Turtles
Yeah,
game.
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
new one that came out.
yep, sure have.
So when I was at Retro World Expo, not this past year, but the year before, there's always a guy there selling homebrews. And I thought this was very cool, so I picked it up. It is uh Shredder's Revenge. It's called Shredder's Revenge. But what this is, I'll zoom in. It's like see if I can get a focus on it. What this is, it's Streets of Rage 2 with all of the sprites and characters of Shredder's Revenge. So you're playing the game of Streets of Rage 2 with Ninja Turtles and all of the sprites from Shredder's Revenge.
That's really cool.
So
It's
essentially, you
really
have a
fun.
weapon the entire
Mhm.
time. You can't lose your
Yeah.
weapon.
Right.
Wow, that's
But,
really cool.
I love Shredder's Revenge. I mean, I was actually playing that this week with my daughter. My daughter's 6 years old, and she crushes it in that game. She,
Nice.
I was I was losing my life every now and then. She was smooth sailing. She was going all the way through it. She liked to play as April. I like to play as Casey Jones. And then it just made me realize, oh, hey, we're literally playing Streets of Rage 2, and I'm playing Shredder's Revenge. I'm like, we got to talk about Shredder's Revenge. So the cool thing about this copy is the cart is a kind of like a translucent green. If I can focus it here. Well, you get the point. And when you pop it into the system and you turn the system on, there's actually LED lights and it will glow green.
Wow.
So it's very, very cool. So
Well,
if you ever
hopefully
get a chance,
he's there
yeah, it's very, very good. You got to do it.
because
Nice.
I'm coming this year. So hopefully he's there and hopefully he has that bad
Yeah,
boy. You're
it's a
listening,
good
bring
one.
it. I'm buying it.
It's a good one for sure. So what did we think of the game?
Overall, pretty good. Yeah, I'd say for sure. I put some notes down that, you know, there were some robots you got to fight at the end. Like, I feel like the characters just got progressively unique and
Mhm.
harder that kept coming out. Some of the boss battles, and then, beating it. You're like, sweet. Now I want to play through some other characters, essentially, because you got four other
Yeah.
characters. A different take on that. So we'll see what we rated it. What would you say, Keith, out of 5 you rate this game?
Because it's the first time I've ever played it. I'm gonna give it a 5. I did really, really enjoy it.
Nice. Okay. What about you, Dave?
I will also give it a 5. Gameplay, perfect. Music, off the chart. And then the fact that it has replayability because you could play it again as all 4 characters and go through it again.
Yeah. I wish I could have gotten playing it as 2-player because it'd be super fun with that. So with that ability and taking into account a rental, I'll go
Mhm.
5 out of 5 as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 players would be really fun, I think.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one for sure for the weekend. We did ask you guys what you thought of the game, as we do always. So we'll see what you guys had to say.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
We'll jump over to our Facebook page, and we have, I think there was one comment on the post that we made. Let's see, where was it? Down here. Ryan. Ryan said, I only played the first game in the series. I'll give this one a try. I'm currently working on Mega Man from last week. We'll get to it. You're going to get backlogged with the Warp Pipe rentals. We do have a few on Instagram as well. Let's see. We'll jump over to there. So if you guys aren't following us on the social medias, be sure to do so. Keith, why don't you take these here?
All right. Shinbo Jack says many, many fond memories of playing Streets of Rage 2 with cousins during family gatherings. It's there that initially learned the
Or maybe
strategies, I'm guessing.
strategies, yeah.
Strategy, I'm thinking, yeah. Over time, I learned more and now can complete the game 1cc easy. One character clear easy, I'm guessing?
Or
Well, it's
Maybe.
uh,
well, or
one
one
credit
credit
clear.
clear, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's fun to play with balanced characters like Axel and Blaze. It's super rewarding to play and succeed as Max. Me and David were succeeding as Max.
There we go.
Eric Drum says finishing a combo with that shrieking grand appa continues to be deeply satisfying.
Nice. And then we did post a reel. Let's see. We had a few more comments on here. Aldo jumps back in. One of the greatest of all time. I can clear it and one continue, no problem these days. So playing it on the Hidden Mania difficulty is a great challenge. Grand Uppa. I didn't even know So there's a harder level you can even unlock.
Yeah.
Ty's Gaming says, I just beat it. First time ever playing a Streets of Rage game. Was a lot of fun, challenging, but not impossible. You guys are 2 for 2 on awesome rental recommendations. And then, let's see.
Hit those replies there because I think he might have added a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, because then I asked him, what character did you play as?
Oh, okay.
Axel, I thought perhaps technique would be more important than having an all-around character such as Blaze. Gotcha, yeah. That's always good. And we got Bailey Anthony says, one of my favorite, loved the whole series. Twin flippin' chicks always was a problem. Beat them all, though. These games have so much history and cool facts behind them, like how the last thing you see at the end of part 1, I think the little cityscape ended up being a logo for another company, and the ties into THQ and Saints Row that a lot of people don't know about. See, I never played the Saint Rose series, and I'm not sure what THQ is, what that stands for.
Isn't
THQ
THQ
is a
the
company, right?
game company?
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then let's see, we'll jump over to YouTube community page. This one. All right. You take it,
Oh.
Keith.
Oh, Steve versus Man Cave Arcade says Streets of Rage 2 is my favorite Sega game to go back and play. Beat 'em ups are always fun to play, but when you add a soundtrack like this game has, it brings things to another level. The true classic and a must play for any beat 'em up fan. JRit 2865 says, I played through the entire game this weekend on easy. Ain't nobody got time otherwise. Loaded with nostalgia. I agree completely. Loaded with nostalgia, and the music is superb. It even sparks an interest with my oldest son, who then wanted to play through the game together. Oh, that would be cool.
Nice.
Great choice, guys. This idea is a lot of fun because it encourages me/us to play through the games in a short time frame that I've always wanted to beat.
Nice, very
River
cool.
City Ransom says this game is classic and has such an underrated soundtrack. The soundtrack is pretty epic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
NES Addict says, I didn't think I could play this until I realized it might be on my mini console. Well, get at it, Jake. Get at it.
Get at
It is on the mini console.
Nice. So if you guys have the mini console, yeah, I said like I'm not going to own all the games we pick for the rental, but luckily I do have the mini console, which has most of the games on there, so we'll be able to still participate with that.
I had to emulate it and use the keyboard, which was a
Oh,
little
wow.
rough, but I made it work. I made it past the
Wow,
baseball
okay.
stadium level, but I did make
Wow.
it work.
How is it playing on a
keyboard.
keyboard? That's wild.
It was rough. It was rough. It was, yeah, like you said, like click in, use my elbow for the special button, you know?
We got to
Got
get
the
you one of
hammer.
those like 8-bit DOE controllers that you can hook up to
Right?
it.
Absolutely, I'll need to. If we keep doing this,
Yeah,
definitely
for
gonna need to
sure.
get something like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So Streets of Rage 2, a good one for sure. What are we getting into next week, Dave?
So next week, we're going to stick with the Sega Genesis, and we're going to go with Captain America and the Avengers. And the reason we picked this game is we have the new Captain America movie coming out. Figured why not kind of encapsulate that and play some Captain America in the Avengers game. I remember this being fun, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it for the weekend.
Yeah, and again, this is in the same genre of Streets of Rage 2. It's a beat 'em up game. I think this also might have been in the arcade as well. So if you could get your hands on a copy, you got to emulate it, then do so on that. Captain America and the Avengers. Nice.
All right. With that, we're moving on to name that quote. We got a fun one.
Hey, I bet you can't name that quote.
All right, guys. So this week for name that quote, I'm keeping it with ties of our main topic tonight,
Okay.
which is childhood crushes. So, to give you a little tip, The quotes tonight are female actors who
Okay.
play main characters in these
Mhm.
movies.
Okay.
Okay, so there's your hint. Again, I rated them on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being easy, 5 being the hardest, and we're gonna go easy, and then we're gonna increase it a little bit. So,
Right.
you guys ready for the first one?
Rock and roll.
Okay, here we go. So, this movie is from 1995. I would just like to say that physical education in this school is a disgrace. I mean, standing in line for 40 minutes is hardly aerobically effective. I doubt I've worked off the calories in a stick of carefree gum.
I think I have an idea, but
Okay,
let's see what
okay.
Keith is thinking.
Have you guys
No
gotten
idea.
one yet without having the audio?
Mm,
I don't think you have.
I don't know.
Oh,
Now, are
maybe
we?
you have. Maybe you
So
have.
now, are we naming the movie or the
You
actress? I
could
guess
name the
either or.
actress. You could name
Okay.
the actress. You can name the movie. I mean, if you know the movie, or you should know both.
Right.
It should be pretty self-explanatory. Well, what do you have a guess?
Or should maybe I'll hold mine and then
Let's
we can
hear it.
play the
Let's hear
audio.
it.
Okay.
So maybe the audio would trigger Keith, and he'll be able to do that. Let's see. Number 1.
I would just like to say that physical education in this school is a disgrace. I mean, standing in line for 40 minutes is hardly aerobically effective. I doubt I've worked off the calories in a stick of carefree gum.
What do you think, Keith? You got any ideas?
I know I can picture it. I can. But there's no way I'm gonna get a name on that one. There's no way.
Do you
You know
know
the
the
movie
movie?
or no?
Do you know the movie?
No. I don't know the
Ah.
names.
Okay. How about you, Russ? What do you got?
Clueless. Alicia Silverstone.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That was
there
I
it
had
is.
that
Good
at
job,
a 2
Russ.
out of 5 rating. So pretty. I thought that was a pretty easy one.
Nice.
All right. So moving on to the second one. Now the next one is a little bit more difficult. I gave it a 3. It is from 1985, so it is an older movie. I think that there's a few things in this quote that might give an idea of the character. So here we go. The quote is, "You guys created me. I didn't come from anywhere. Before you started messing around with your computer, I didn't even exist. By the way, you did an excellent job. Thank you." Does Russ have it?
I think, well, I don't know who said it, but I think I know the movie.
Okay. How about you, Keith?
I know
This
the
is
movie.
I did this 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Keith, you got it? You said?
Pretty sure I know the movie. Yep. Should we
You
hear it
know the
first
movie.
for the
Let's
listeners?
Well,
hear it.
you want?
Well,
Oh,
you
you
want
want?
to guess it? Let's guess it, and then we'll play it later.
All right, we'll go on 3. One,
Right.
2, 3. Weird
Weird
Science.
Yes, congratulations. That's 2 for 2. Now,
Nice.
do you know the name of the character or the actress that said it?
No, nope.
So the actress, the character name was Lisa.
Okay.
It was the lady that the guys created on their computer.
Right.
Played by Kelly LeBron.
You guys created me. I didn't come from anywhere. Before you started messing around with your computer, I didn't even exist. By the way, you did an excellent job. Thank you.
It was while they were showering together
With their
Water.
swimsuits on, right?
with their swimsuits on. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The guys have their swimsuits on, yeah.
Yes, correct. All right. Well, good job. You guys are 2 for 2 technically. All right.
Russ,
So the
2 for
third
2.
one,
Come on now.
I also gave it a 3 out of 5 rating. This one, I will say, I was having a little difficulty trying to find one-liners of female actresses from the 80s or even the 90s. So I reached out to our good friend Tom D.
Oh, okay.
And I said, Tom, we need a quote from a childhood crush from a movie. What can you come up with? So all credit for this one goes to our good friend Tom, who is working on our website right now. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. All I want to do is graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
Straight into the point.
That's it. There's the quote.
And what year is the movie from?
This is 1992.
Okay, a little later.
And remember
This
childhood crushes
Right.
and lead characters in a movie.
Maybe with the audio, I might get this. Nothing's ringing a
I got
bell.
nothing.
Okay, let's go.
All I want to do is graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Tough one.
Just there.
Okay, do you know the movie?
I don't think. No, maybe if you said the movement, I don't think it. I don't know. No, I don't know it.
Okay.
I got nothing.
How about you, Keith? Nothing?
I don't think I have anything on this one.
That was Christy Swanson as Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's a good one.
So there you go. So those are our three. You got 2 out of 3. Seems to be consistent. So I'm proud of you guys. Way to go.
Nice. Got it done. Sweet. So we're going themed again this week. I know last week we had the Super Bowl. So we tried to go all sports and stuff since we're doing crushes, love crushes, Valentine's Day on this. We wanted to do a Rad or Bogus that's also essentially themed to that, right?
Mhm.
With the same theme. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited for this.
Should be interesting.
Bogus.
What do you got, Keith? What do you got for us?
All right, so I went with movies, and I hope you guys are into like rom-com. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's what I picked. All right,
Okay.
so Rad or Bogus, you have to bogus one of them, keep the other one. I picked either Can't Hardly Wait or 10 Things I Hate About You.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. I think I already know my pick.
It's been a while since I've seen Can't Hardly Wait.
Okay.
So I feel like 10 Things I Hate About You stood out more to me, like stayed with me. So I
Mhm.
got to keep that one and give Bogus to the other one,
So,
unfortunately.
so who's taking Bogus?
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't hardly wait. Well, my friend, I am completely going to disagree with you. It's got to
Ooh,
be Can't Hardly Wait over 10 Things I Hate About You. I just feel like all the characters from Can't Hardly Wait, um, it just screamed high school. It came out in 1998, I believe. I remember seeing it at the theater. That was when Seth Green was at like the top of his game. And then we also had what's the lead actress's name that was in that movie? Why can't I think of it? Help me out
That's
here,
going to
Keith.
be Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yep, she was the main character. And it also had, is it Ethan Embry? Is that his
Yeah.
name?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that whole cast is great. And also, I may add, killer soundtrack.
Yeah, great
So
soundtrack
okay.
on that one.
I'm gonna have to
I
go with
mean,
Can't Hardly Wait.
10 Things I Hate About You has Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger,
Mhm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, it's
Mhm.
pretty loaded too. But
Yeah.
Can't Hardly Wait definitely was like a before they were famous for a few of them, or they were really big
Mhm.
for a few of them. So I think I'd have to go Can't Hardly Wait is rad and 10 Things About You is bogus. I agree with you, David.
Sorry, Russ.
No. It's what it is.
Watch Can't Hardly Wait again. Maybe it'll just jump out at
There
you.
we
this
go.
time.
There we go.
There you
I'll
go.
pop it on.
So for my Radar Bogus, I picked music. And so since we're keeping in the Valentine's theme, I picked ballad. So we have 2 songs
Okay.
that you need to choose from. Now, the deal is with these songs, they're both from movies.
Okay.
Okay? They both have punk rock remakes, which I know you guys are a fan of. But if you kick one to the curb, just know it eliminates all of those other versions as well. And also takes
Okay.
that song as the movie. So when you think about this, I want you to think about the movie. Would it be the same without this song? And then can you do without the punk rock remake or any other remake for that matter?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So the first song we got is Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship,
Okay.
which was famously in the movie Mannequin. And then also the punk rock version is The Starting Line.
Yeah, I remember that's
Okay. The other song is Glory of Love by Peter Cetera, which famously was in Karate Kid Part 2
hmm
and remade by Newfound Glory. So
what are we thinking here? Keith's gotta.
I am not sure.
this is
I'm
a
not
hard
sure.
one. This is a difficult one for sure.
I
I
definitely
feel like
want
I'd
to
have to
say
hear them.
the songs.
Yeah, to really
Could we
make
play
my
like
decision.
10-second clippets without getting flagged?
No. I'm just gonna go with Newfound Glory. Whichever one Newfound Glory did, I'm going with that based on them.
I
So
will
that
say
means,
I remember the starting line coming out with this, and I feel like it was prior to Newfound Glory doing their From Screen to Stereo, where it
yes.
became or like Punk Goes Pop, like all that stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is pretty cool. Like I remember my mom listening to this song or something, and now it's pop punk, and now like definitely Newfound Glory is like known for like their turning songs to that punk genre.
Mhm.
So I definitely have to still go with Newfound Glory with that one. And I feel like that just makes the Karate Kid too, as well. Like when you think that, you're like, oh, Karate Kid, like, come on.
Yeah.
Take it out of that. I think it's gonna hurt the movie more.
It is a very hard decision. I agree with the both of you because not for the reason of the remakes, which both remakes are really good, but I would say I think Karate Kid 2 would not be the same without this song. And Mannequin, I feel like they could probably do another track and it'd be okay. But it just is very synonymous with Karate Kid 2. So I'm going to go with Glory of Love by Peter Cetera.
Fair enough.
How about you, Russ? What do you got?
So Valentine's Day, right? You want to get your sweetie something nice. I want to choose food, more candy though, not really food essentially, right? You're going to the store trying to grab something nice. And so I figured I'd pitch you up with two different choices here. Get maybe some Russell Stover's chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be essentially any chocolates. Or those cute little candy hearts with sayings on it.
Ooh,
They're like little sugar hearts and stuff like that.
Those are like straight sugar.
that's the point,
Like,
Keith.
let's go. Sugar me up. I'm picking the love hearts are rad.
Yeah.
Like, you just get a whole mitt full of those and just cram them in there. You got love you, and be mine's coming out, and you're just going on a sugar rush.
It's almost like this. I was gonna say maybe Smarties, but I feel like Smarties probably
No,
aren't
these
even
are
that. Yeah.
no, these are way worse than Smarties.
So
This
here's
is
a
like-
fun fact.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Smarties in Canada are like chocolate M&Ms. They're little round, like flatter round candy coated chocolate. That's a Smartie here. And
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
they're just like sugar niblets, right?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah. So we have different
Interesting.
Smarties here, which is interesting and weird.
Okay.
And what do you call our Smarties? Or do you not have those?
Rockets. I think they're similar to rockets. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look this up later. Rockets and Smarties. Okay. Pretty cool. I mean, basically the sugar hearts are basically just I mean, it's just congealed like Fun Dip, right? Like is that basically like what it is?
That's true. I feel like that's a good
Pretty
comparison.
much all it is. Now, just a question, Russ, real quick. Am
Okay.
am I choosing this now as an adult, or am I choosing this as a child?
Oh, right. I guess
Because I
we're
feel
going
there's two different
nowadays.
answers.
Yeah. Nowadays, I guess you go to the
If we're
store.
going nowadays, I got to go with the chocolate because I can't deal with all that sugar. I'm cutting down on my sugar take, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the
Chocolates.
chocolate because the other thing too is like, especially if you get like those like hearts with like
Mhm.
the different chocolates in there. I feel like the mystery of what you're gonna get. Like you got a little bit of a mystery in there, and you might get the cream filled one, you might get the caramel one, you might get the solid chocolate one. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the chocolate.
The chocolates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a crazy person that you like throw the map out and just randomly
That's
take
what I was gonna say. They
chocolates out of
have
the
a map.
heart-shaped block?
I
You're
I
like, I'm just
I
gonna take these
I don't
chocolates out
I
of this
don't know what
heart-shaped
you guys are
box.
talking about. What is
When
what a map?
Eliminates the treasure map.
when you open the chocolate candy box, on the top of the lid, there's a map showing you. The middle is pecan. Whatever. Like it maps it out for you.
Guys, I can't read.
But it's
No, I
got
go.
like
I no.
visuals too. There's visual. Literally, it's like this one's got 3 ridges on it. This one has no ridges on it. This one's
Listen, man.
round. Like,
Listen, man. The mystery is just part of life.
Fair enough.
You gotta take risks in life. I
I'm gonna
take
bite
risks
into
with my
this.
chocolate.
It could be a peanut inside, or it could be juicy, gooey. But I'm just gonna
Well,
sacrifice my
luckily, I'm not
teeth.
allergic to peanuts, so I'm all good.
There we go.
What about you, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, I would go with the chocolate. Since we're choosing now, I feel like I could savor the chocolate, have a few here and there. With the hearts, I think they're cool because of the sayings on it, and it's something cool to maybe give to your crush back in the day. But now, I don't think I could see me snacking on them. So
I'm so having a mitt full of candy sugar hearts, and I'm washing that down with a Red Bull.
I got these right over here. Have you guys had these yet? The Shakalicious.
Oh yeah, I
Russ
had 2
has.
bags of those.
Yeah, these are great. Speaking of sugar, shouldn't be eating those either.
Nice. All right, we're gonna get into our main topic tonight. Um, crushes, 80s and 90s. I think we're kind of going back and forth in that. I think we both made lists of crushes that we had. I divided mine up between film
Okay.
or a TV show, music, I believe, and I think it was those 3. I'll bring up my list just so I have it here. Yeah, movies, TV shows, and music.
Okay.
I got 6 on my list, but we can also bring up other ones that I didn't write down, and maybe we'll have some matches. But essentially, us growing up, who we were crushing on, right?
Yeah.
Whose posters did we have on the wall or
I feel like mine's
magazines?
gonna get weird then if you picked movies, film, and
Did you choose
music.
like video games and stuff, or
I
what
picked
do you
cartoons.
cartoons? Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Hey, this way we got it. We got it covered all here on
Don't
the
judge me.
podcast.
Don't judge me.
Who wants to start? Who's?
I mean, we got to go with Keith. I think Keith needs to
What?
start. I want to hear about these
Oh.
cartoons.
Oh, you want to hear about my cartoon crush, eh? All right. My cartoon crush. This was more 80s for sure. It would have been reruns in the 90s, 100%. It's gonna be, and I'm using the character, obviously, Penny from Inspector Gadget. When I was little, when I was
Okay.
like young, and I was watching Inspector Gadget, for some reason, Penny just had it going on for me. It was probably
Okay.
the pigtails, but she had like the 2 pigtails, right? See?
Yeah,
Weird, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Expect
weird,
me to
not
bring the
weird.
weird stuff.
I'm trying to
I
remember.
like it.
Okay. I was like, what did Penny look like?
It's funny when you said Penny. The first Penny that I thought of was Penny from Pee Wee's Playhouse. The
I don't
claymation
think
Penny with that had the penny eyes.
I don't think I ever watched Pee Wee's Playhouse because we only had I had 4 channels here,
Okay,
and there wasn't on any of them here. So
that's the first one I thought of when you said Penny.
no,
But yeah, Penny's
Inspector
Inspector
Gadget.
Gadget. She's got the blonde hair, the pigtail.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith.
Yeah. David?
Sounds great. All right,
Bring it on.
I'll go. Okay,
David,
I'll
let's go.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'll match with Russ on this one. I also picked some music as well as movies. I don't think. Yeah, I do have a TV in there as well. I have 7. I picked out 7. The first one on my list is Elizabeth Shue. What do you
Okay.
think? What do you think, Russ?
Trying,
Back to the Future. You
it's a
know?
good choose. Yeah.
Yeah. She's also Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Pulling up some
Karate Kid.
7. You
photos
have
here.
7.
7.
Yeah,
Russ
man.
has 6. You guys were really you that explains the R&B thing. You guys were super into taking girls to slow dances. I got 3, and one of them was a cartoon character.
Oh man. That's okay. Well, Keith, how about Elizabeth Shue here?
Yeah, she's not bad looking for sure. I remember her in quite a few movies back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, she's no Penny from Inspector Gadget, but
Still blonde.
She's like the girl next door, I guess. What
What's
do you
funny
think,
is
Russ?
I
Not
did.
in your list?
What's that?
Not in your list?
Not in my list. No, didn't make my list on that one.
Okay. Tell me what's funny.
All right, let's see. What should I go with? I'll go with the more obvious one.
Okay.
I chose. We got Danielle Fischel from Boy Meets World.
Topanga?
Topanga, baby. That had to
That
be
did
a
not make
lot of
my list.
that had to be a lot of boys' crushes, I
She
want to
did,
say.
yeah. Yeah. I kept mine more like 80s.
Okay.
Russ, we had a match.
We got a match with that?
We got a match.
Wow,
Yeah, that was
look at
one of my
that.
other ones.
I feel like watching the show, it was like season finale or whatever it was, right? And it was on the break. And then when we came back for the next season, obviously they were older, they had stopped filming and something. And maybe I myself was then older, but then I had seen her and I was like, wow, okay. Okay.
They went on season's break, and Russ became a mature gentleman and was like, "Hey, what's going on, Topanga?"
I was like, let's go.
There you go.
So, yeah, I feel like maybe that happened to a bunch of people, but I don't know. That's her from the
I feel
show
like
back then. But,
I feel like that's a good pick. I feel like a lot of people would agree with you.
and I mean, even now, I mean, she still looks great. And
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen her on the new. They did like the reboot show, Girl Meets World. So I
Right.
haven't watched that where it's them.
And she's
grown up
also
all that.
doing isn't she doing a podcast with who's the older brother from Boy Meets World?
Oh, right.
I'm not
I think
sure
they
the
have a
name, but yeah.
podcast together now, and they do a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. So I don't know what it's called, but I have seen it. It popped up in my reels recently.
Okay.
So maybe check that out.
Nice.
So Keith, do you want to go again? Because you're down to 1 now, right?
I'm down to 1, and it's probably going to be a match too. I am a simple man over
A
here. I
simple
think we got to
man.
go back between you two until we see if I have anything left at the end of this.
Oh, maybe we could do that.
Okay. You want to do
Dave
that?
again?
Okay, we'll go my side. Okay, ready? Okay. I mean, I feel like this one is on everybody's list. So Keith, maybe yours as well. Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Saved by the Bell. Kelly
Saved.
Kapowski.
Okay. He's
No?
Not on my
thinking.
list. No.
Kelly Kapowski, man. And then she was later in Melrose Place, right? When she was a little older. There she is.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like, anyone that was watching Saved by the Bell, like, it was like Kelly or Jesse.
Look at these risky photos here. Jeez. These are
That's
probably
like
in
90s risky.
Childhood crush.
These are probably in some magazine, right? And you could.
Oh, yeah, for
Right?
sure. Teen Bop or whatever it's called.
You can place it on
90s
your.
guys were like, ooh, I can see her belly button. Ooh, there we
Yeah,
go.
but I mean, there's
go.
a picture of her now, like right down there with the blue background there, so you see her what she's now,
Right.
and she's
Okay.
only probably what, like I don't know how old she is now, but can't be a few much years older than us now.
Yeah.
And Kelly Kapowski, man, did you ever watch Saved by the Bell, Keith?
I did a little bit. So from high school until a couple years ago, basically, and to this day, for my buddies, I looked like Screech from Saved by the Bell when I was in high school.
Okay.
Like scarily looked like him. And I ended up lipping a senior off when I was like a junior, and he took a shot back at me in front of a full gym class that was my age, my grade, and he called me a Screech looking so and so, and it stuck. And I just accepted it. So that's who I was for years and years and years. I got buddies still. That's who I am, a Screech. So.
Well, I'm sorry to bring up those memories.
It's okay. They're good memories now.
Yeah, great. So we did not match on that one. So Russ, what do you got?
All right, let's see. Moving on. So I'll do one here that I feel like it's not on most people's list because they're gonna go a different route.
Okay.
Let me just bring up some so I have the
Can you give us the category for this?
so this will be TV shows.
TV shows. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What years are we talking? Like the 80s, 90s?
This is 90s. Let me see. Let me bring up just so I have the right. Because I had watched this show a bunch coming home after school, and I was like, oh, okay. Like everyone I know is going the different route, which we'll probably bring up. But
Okay.
this is Sarah Joy Brown. Don't know if the name would ring a bell with anyone, but
Afternoon?
Because I don't know what else she was in. It was an afternoon show, similar to that main one, but this one was called VR Troopers. The show VR
Oh,
Troopers, very similar to Power
I
Rangers.
did not watch VR Troopers.
So
I was gonna guess it was VR Troopers, but I didn't know who it was gonna be.
Yeah, same concept. You know,
Okay.
feel like we got a type here. You know, it's just blonde, hottie,
Yeah.
and action star. So you're like, oh, cool. Watch her kick some butt. You know,
Okay.
similar to that vein of Power Rangers, but
Okay. So question for you: is the Pink Ranger on your list?
she isn't. But that's why I wanted to kind of go out the box
Okay.
a little bit. I feel like the Pink Ranger probably would make some list. I was like, you know what? Let me go. No, I don't hear people talk about VR Troopers. I'm sure some people had some crushes with VR Troopers as well as Power Rangers.
So Russ is a man of the people.
For the people, he picked
For the
her.
people, he
For
chose.
no other
her.
reason, eh, Russ?
I mean, Russ, is that kind of like picking her last in gym class or something?
Picking her? No, why? I pick her over the
Oh, you do,
Pink
but you do
Rangers.
personally. You're not just doing it for the people. You're doing it for
Right.
yourself as well.
I
Okay.
definitely remember crushing on her after
Fair.
school.
Okay.
Like, oh, VR Troopers on it. That
All
blonde
right.
chick's on there.
I never got into VR Troopers. Was that after Power Rangers?
I mean, Power Rangers lasted from like 90s to 2000 something. So many seasons.
Right.
The
I feel like
main
VR Troopers
Mighty
came out
Morphin.
after. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were like, oh, we can do. People are into this. So sure. Here's this.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. I might have one. I don't know if you guys have one on your list. Jennifer Connelly. Does that name sound familiar?
No.
Labyrinth.
The name is familiar.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer Connelly from Labyrinth. She was also later, when she was a little older, she was in Requiem for a Dream with what's his name? The guy from 30 Seconds to Mars. And My So-Called Life.
Okay.
What's his name? Every girl's crush in the 90s. Why can't I think about it? Oh man, it's escaping me right now. I don't know.
Someone's yelling at their phone right now as they're listening to this.
No, they're not. Do you know why? Because we have 99% demographic of male viewers, so they don't
Yeah,
know who I'm.
30 Second to Mars. Oh,
Jordan Catalano was his name in My So-Called Life. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Anyway, let's talk about Jennifer Connelly, guys. So yeah, from Labyrinth, she was also, like I said, in Requiem for a Dream when she was a little older. But like, I think like Labyrinth was just like her main. I think that's what everybody has seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
she's married to, who's she married to?
I don't
I just
know.
remember seeing something just recently about her.
I don't know. Let me check.
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I thought, I was like, oh, that's an interesting couple. Didn't expect that because he's um Jarvis in
Oh, in
the
Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Avengers and stuff, right? And then
Oh,
he's
okay.
How about that? There you go.
Vision or
Oh,
whatever,
very
right?
cool.
That's the same
Yeah,
actor.
Vision.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, the actor's name is Jared Leto.
Yes. Thank you,
30
David.
Seconds
Thank
to
you.
Mars. Sorry. Nailed it.
Nailed
As you
it.
can see, yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so that was not a match for Keith. So I feel like
Nope,
this is
no
turning
match
into
yet.
like let's match Keith. Like let's see what we can
I don't know if
do.
he will. I don't know if he will.
I don't know, but this is a fun game to play. You want to go again, Russ?
Okay. I'll go another, like, maybe it's not in everyone's radar,
Okay.
essentially. Let's see, we'll go in 90s there. This is a musician.
Okay.
Everyone knows which one I'm gonna be crushing on. We'll get to her eventually, but this was another one if you're into 90s music and you know a little band called Garbage. We got
Oh, Shirley
Shirley Ann
Manson.
Manson. Yeah, she got a
Yeah.
little red hair, uh, that grunge punky look going on in the
Mm-hmm.
90s. Seeing a bunch of the music videos and everything. I never got to see them play live, unfortunately, but was definitely crushing on her. I don't know
What
if
about
Keith
you,
knows
Keith?
this here.
Have you listened to
I
Garbage?
know the band. I don't.
Yeah.
If you said that's who it was, I might recognize her. But
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know Shirley Manson. I mean, it was during the '90s also when Marilyn Manson was around, so there was always kind of like that conversation of, oh, they related anyway, but they're just stage names, so whatever. But I remember Shirley Manson, and I remember they got big when they had that song in Big Daddy. What was it?
yeah,
It was off their second album. What was the name of the song?
Mm-mm. I
Oh
don't know.
man, I could hear it in my head,
yeah.
but oh, was
When
it called
I grow up,
Perfect? Won't grow, yeah, something like that.
like when I grow up, yeah,
When I grow up, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I know what the song you're talking about. Yeah.
But I do remember having the first Garbage CD and the second Garbage CD. I don't think I really listened to anything after that, but
Yeah, I'll have to go back since, I'm sure they're on Spotify now and give it a listen and be like, all right,
yeah,
am I
for
still
sure.
into this? But
Yeah, it's a good one.
definitely
So
one of my
no
crushes.
no takers
No,
on no.
no
Oh,
match.
we haven't guessed. Is this a guessing game or is this what we're actually picking? Let's see. Um, I'm gonna go with um, another movie, another actress, and we've talked about this actress on the podcast. She has been one of our quotes, and that is Phoebe Cates.
Nice.
Gremlins, Gremlins 2, Fast Times at Ridgemount High. I mean, what else? I mean, what else is there to say about Phoebe Cates? I mean,
I feel like there's
everybody
a
from the
lot of
'80s
guys,
knows about Phoebe Cates.
with the pool scene in their head.
Yes, there is. Isn't I think that was actually I actually think they named that the most paused scene in cinema history.
Yeah,
And that was with that was in Fast Time, right?
yeah, I
That
believe
scene.
so.
And then oh yeah, also Drop Dead Fred. Forgot about that. You just passed it. You see it down there?
That's somewhere. Yeah.
One
Oh,
more.
right here.
Right
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Right there.
she
Yeah.
was in Drop Dead Fred as well. So I feel like, the 80s it was Phoebe Cates' world in the 80s. And actually, Phoenix TX had a song called Phoebe Cates.
That's right.
And they talk about the pool scene in that song. But yeah, Phoebe Cates. We actually just watched. My daughter we've been watching the Gremlins cartoon on Max,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I said, "Hey, do you want to watch the Gremlins movie?" And I thought the first one might be a little bit too much for her because like it's a little violent and like I don't know, it's a little bit more PG-13. Um, and I remember the second one being pretty goofy. So we watched the second one. She absolutely loved it. Phoebe Cates, obviously, in both. The second one, she's rocking the bob, but in the original, she had the long hair. I think I prefer the long hair than the bob. But Phoebe Cates, 1980s.
Nice.
So that was not on Keith's list.
Nope, not on my list. I do
Let's
have an
see.
honorable mention that I could use, but yeah, you're not gonna match that one. So we'll use the
All
one
right, let's
that
go. Let's
is
do
a
it.
possible match.
Okay.
We're gonna do honorable mention. All right.
Do your
Honorable mention would be Stacey Dash
Yes,
from
Clueless.
Clueless. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember my honorable mention.
Yes, I remember her from Clueless. She was didn't she dated the guy that was in Scrubs in the
Yes.
in the movie
Yeah.
Clueless. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what his name was. But anyway, Stacey Dash. Do you remember Stacey Dash, Russ?
Yeah, when she said dated the guy from Scrubs.
Yeah. I remember the scene when she's driving the car and she gets on the freeway
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Clueless. And then
Yes.
she's like, "What are you doing? Get off the freeway!" And she's like, she's going crazy because she's on the freeway. She doesn't know what to do, and she's like not holding the wheel and driving. That's a good honorable mention. I like that. You could have just said that it was in your list, and no one would have ever known.
I know I could have.
Yes.
But I didn't know how many we were picking. I didn't want to go like crazy
I
with like
figured a
6 or
few.
7. So I just went with 3.
Okay. Sorry about being frozen here, but at least it's not. There you go. I'm back. Okay. Russ, you're up.
Gotta be
Let's do
Jennifer
it.
Love Hewitt. She's got to make the list, right?
And you didn't pick Can't Hardly Wait.
No. I can enjoy a movie and not all the people in it.
That's true. That's true. What else was she in besides? Wasn't she in I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah, I feel like that maybe was her big role for sure that put her higher up on the map.
All right.
Yeah.
What else she was? I know she was in some like
She was in a few
series,
things.
like I want to say like Dawson's Creek, but like something like that. Like she was in.
She was in a TV
like,
show?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember. I think
She was kind of an it girl for a while in the 90s, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, there you go. There's the I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Classic.
Definitely a good one for sure. I'm sure a bunch of people in the 90s were crushing on Jennifer Love Hewitt for sure.
Not Keith.
Not Keith though.
Not on my list.
Not on your list. Not on your list.
No.
All right. Well, I'll go again then. I've got a few more. I didn't know how many we were picking because we never really picked a number. I do have one that is definitely not on anybody's radar. Definitely not. She was in one movie that you guys will know, but she is barely on camera. I know her from the Vanilla Ice movie Cool as Ice.
Oh, okay.
And I'm talking about Kristen Minter. Now, if you guys could tell me the movie that she was in that I know you guys know, she played one of the siblings. Take a look at if Russ wants to pull up a photo, Kristen Minter. And she was in a movie, and I didn't even realize she was in the movie until I saw her in the background, and then I read the credits to make sure that it was her. So that is Kristen Minter. She actually was one of the siblings in Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
She was the older sister that was, I guess, rounding up all the troops
Yeah.
when they were leaving for the airport. And then
Fair
when they're
enough.
in the airport, they when they were making phone calls, she was like the oldest of the siblings, and so they put her in charge of, making some calls.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Kristen Minter.
And then she was in a movie with Ice Baby.
She was the main. She was the one. Drop that zero, get with the hero.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, click on that. What is the best tagline for that movie right there? I don't know if
You
you
just
could
said
read
it.
it. No. There's another one that's listed on that poster.
Oh,
It
on
says,
here. When a girl has a heart of stone, there's only one way to melt it. Just add ice.
which makes zero sense because you can't melt stuff with ice.
As cool as ice.
You can melt stone with ice. I don't know.
Who knows where to go with it?
So Kristen Minter, that's one of my picks.
Nice.
Russ, you got
Let's
another
see.
one?
I got 2 left here. This
Okay.
one kind of came up where I was like, "Oh, okay," because we had just watched some '90s movies, me and Steph, and it's Joey Lauren Adams. She was in Empire Records, which we
Mm-hmm.
just watched last night, and also in Mallrats, which is definitely one of my favorite movies.
And she's also in Chasing Amy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So certainly stands out.
She was also in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, quite a few movies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been in lots, right?
Oh, and she was also in Big Daddy.
Yeah.
So there you go.
She played the girlfriend in Big Daddy.
So you had to see her somewhere.
Yeah. Not wrong.
Yeah,
But-
she was in a lot back then, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
I think the first movie I saw her in was Mallrats.
Mallrats, yeah. And she has like almost like this voice, like that's very distinct as well. Like
Yeah.
almost has that raspy, a little bit raspy to it. I don't know.
Almost like a
Definitely-
child.
I don't know.
It's
Like
childlike.
yeah,
It's a very high pitched.
high pitched with some
Yeah.
like fry to it, like whatever
Yeah.
speaking. I was like, okay.
Basically a child that has smoked for years. Basically what it is. But yes, no, she was not on my list, but she would definitely be an honorable mention for sure.
Nice.
Nothing, Keith. I'm
Nope.
I'm so intrigued by his pick. I have no idea. I got 2 more, so I'll go again.
You go.
You're up.
The next one that I have is a music artist from the 80s. Growing up, you got to mention Tiffany
Oh, okay.
from I Think We're Alone Now. You got to know that one. The reason I remember Tiffany was because we heard the song, right? But my dad had the 45.
Okay.
And so I remember my dad had the sleeve with the album cover on it. Yeah, there she is from the 80s there with the
Is
red
that
hair
it
and
right there?
the denim jacket there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there. The 45. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And so my dad had that, and we used to listen to that song all the time. And I still listen to that song. And it recently, a couple years ago, was actually in a really well-known scene now from the Umbrella Academy in the first season when they're all like dancing around the whole house and they play I Think We're Alone Now. I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. But yeah, that song. I still listen to that song. That song is great. So, and every now and then we have a TV station on our Hulu Live TV from Vivo has their own music stations. They're basically MTV. And there's an Vivo 80s, and that video comes on all the time, and you got to watch it. She's in a mall, she's dancing around, you know. It's classic 80s. It's so great.
Nice.
So Tiffany, and then I got one more after that. Nothing, Keith.
Guessing
Nothing.
we know what Russ's is.
We do?
I would
Maybe he
venture
does.
a guess.
What? Well, I think we should guess then. What is the guess?
Let's
I'm
see who's right,
clueless.
who's wrong.
I'm missing.
My wife knows.
Your wife knows. Your wife
It's
knows.
more from definitely from high school.
So,
Oh man!
is it-
Can you give us a category?
start with a
It's
G?
it's music.
Start with a G?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know it. I already know it.
Bum, ba-da-da.
You named your daughter after her.
Gwen Stefani. Now, I will say specifically from the 90s, because she's
Yes,
definitely
yes.
changed like her look and style. And definitely looks way different. But that 90s look for sure was like, oh, definitely fell in love. And of course, I was a huge Bush fan of the band
Oh
growing
yeah.
up, and Gavin was dating Gwen. So then it just was like, oh, he likes her. I'm going to obviously like her too, right? I will say, my high school girlfriend, when we were dating, she did end up dyeing her hair pink since Gwen had pink hair for a bit.
Interesting.
So I was like, cool. I appreciate it.
But what you guys don't know is that Gavin Rosdale is also on Russ's list.
Oh, I was going to say that you had a match here. But
Gavin Rosdale is definitely on my wife's list. I'll tell you that.
I did see them at the Oakdale Theater, and they played like upstairs, like in the lobby.
Yes,
Like they
yes.
did a stage, and we were watching, and then he came through the crowd, and I was like, hey,
Just
it's right
totally
there.
fangirling out. Gavin Rosdale.
So good.
Okay, so that is not on Keith's list.
nope, not on my list. What you got,
I know
David?
it's
What do you
on.
got?
I know it's on Keith's list.
What do you think it
I'll
is?
guess it after. I'll guess it after. So here's my last one. We already talked about her today. Christy Swanson, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Oh, okay.
the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, what? I mean, pull up a picture. There's nothing else to say.
Boom.
There she is, Christy Swanson. She was also in oh, what was it?
Look at that.
What was the Adam Sandler movie she was in?
Oh, it's right there. That that's Big Daddy as well, right? She's the
Oh, was
girlfriend.
okay. Maybe I got
Or
those.
she's the initial girlfriend, and her and the old man have their 5-year plan, right?
Okay, so I got mixed up on that.
I think that's what it is.
Okay. One second. I'm gonna switch something here, guys.
And the other
Yes.
one from earlier is the girlfriend of the friend of Adam Sandler, right? So they're both in Big Daddy.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so that okay. Yes. So it was Joey. What was her name? Russ. Joey Lauren Adams. Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay,
think
so
so.
she was
She's
in it,
the
and then Christy Swanson.
friends. Yeah, she's the friends. So Adam Sandler's lawyer buddies,
Okay.
fiance, I guess. They ruined the surprise. And then that one is
Got
Adam
it.
Sandler's girlfriend at the start that decides she's gonna go with the guy with the 10-year plan or whatever.
Okay. Great. That was my last one.
What's your guess then? What's your guess?
Tom DeLonge.
Oh, darn it. Just because of his last name. No,
Come on, I'm not wrong.
Russ went with VR Troopers and like totally went around the Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger it is.
It's gotta be whatever, Kimberly from Power Rangers. That's
What
it.
is her? You know her real name?
Amy Jo Johnson. I pulled it up because
Okay,
I
cool.
had no idea. But
Yeah, I feel
again,
like
Russ was saying, I feel like she's on a lot of guys from that age's list.
And I feel like it's because you're watching the show because it's, action packed and there's fighting ninjas and all this. And then you're like, oh, and then, hey, there's this girl that's here. Like, kind of like, all
Right?
right. Like, she's kind
You
of cute. You're
you
like, all
covet
right.
what you see every day, and I watch Power Rangers. I saw her quite often, so she was on my list.
nice. I feel like she would be on a lot of people's list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely remember. I mean, to this day, I think everyone's asking about the Pink Ranger, right? Everyone's talking about her still, and she does a lot of cons still. I think she
I think
makes a
so,
lot of
yeah.
appearances and stuff too. So, you ever met her at a con or anything like that?
Nope.
No. Well, we got to get
No.
you on the list.
Wouldn't in this age, probably if I was, she wouldn't hit my list now. Like she wouldn't really be like that wouldn't be what I'd be looking for. So I don't know. It's
I
different
wouldn't
when you're
lead.
younger, right?
I wouldn't lead with that if you come face to face with her.
Don't lead with that. I'm not even gonna tell her. I'm gonna be like, you gotta watch the podcast. And none of them they all were like turned you away.
Not
No.
me. Oh, nice. Well, that was the end of my list.
Nice.
Russ, you got any more?
Nope, that was it. That was
Oh,
the last on my list on there.
That was fun.
You guys can call into the show. We do have a phone number that is 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. I believe it's a voicemail. I think a few of these might be about the this week's topic, essentially. So see what they have to say.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
Let's see. We got this one.
Hey, Warp Pipe, Aldo here, and just wanted to give a quick little thoughts about Streets of Rage 2. I know you were talking about that before, and, you know, you had to be around at the time, right? 16-bit wars with Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and Super Nintendo had Final Fight, which was fine and dandy, great game. Unfortunately, it was just single player on SNES when it first came out, and then you had Streets of Rage 1 and 2, and specifically 2. You know, was definitely a groundbreaking entry, I think, in the beat 'em up genre. And I think maybe just in console games, period, at the time, it was very hard to find a game that had such a dramatic improvement in terms of visual fidelity, gameplay mechanics, as well as music. Even though the music, you know, across Streets of Rage is legendary no matter what, but, you know, just me being 8, 9 years old when Streets of Rage 2 came out, and many fond memories playing it over at my cousin's house. We'd all be huddled together over the small TV, trying to figure out moves and strategies and all that. Just many fond memories. And it really is a perfect game. You could beat it in a half hour or so and get your fill. And yeah, I've played it more times than I can ever count, but I never get tired of it. And I've played it so much to the point where I know a lot of advanced strategies and how to cheese the AI, where to find all the hidden one-ups and everything. So it's just a fantastic game. If you ever want to jump into the beat-em-up genre, you can never go wrong with Streets of Rage 2. It's available on just about every platform out there. So definitely give it a try. Randapa.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Aldo. Yeah. He asked about coming over. I said, we got to do a live stream playing that. Show me some tricks.
So Keith, Aldo, who left the comment or the voicemail, he is the one that runs the Algo show that we went to this past weekend.
Okay. Nice.
Just to put 2 and 2 together.
Let's see, and then we got here.
Weekly Warp Pipe. It's your boy NES Addict. You know, calling the third week in a row, trying to keep somewhat of the spirit alive. I literally just watched a new Jurassic Park trailer for a movie coming out in July.
Okay.
Would love to know what Russ, Keith, and David think about it if you get a chance to watch it. Maybe it could be one of your Wheel of Morality, turn, or whatever that segment's called. I don't know. I don't know how you want to fit it in, but I'd love to get your thoughts. All right, guys, keep rocking.
Did you guys watch that trailer?
So I was gonna. So he ended up calling back.
Is it against the rules to leave 2 messages? Sorry, guys, I almost forgot. I wanted to comment on my celebrity crush. I know Russ and I have covered this before in the past, but in case you didn't remember, there's like 3 of them. Jodie Sweetin as Stephanie Tanner from Full House. Alicia Silverstone, pretty much in anything in the 90s. And the one that I think is the most underrated, Ollie Larder from Varsity Blues. Now, I can't remember if that was still in the 90s or not, but she's gorgeous. So add her anyway.
I know
Anyway,
who
sorry,
he's
guys.
talking about.
NES Addict, your buddy Jay had to leave one more message. Thanks so much.
I do remember. I do know who he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if that must have been late 90s, Varsity Blues.
No, that was like 97,
movie.
98.
But what he was saying about the Jurassic Park trailer, I actually didn't watch it. I had seen some stuff come up about it, and I was like, do I want to watch it? Or do I want to just be surprised when I maybe go stream the movie or go to the movies and see it? I don't know if either you watched it.
I did see it because they did show it on Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Should we carry this over to next week's? And then if you want to watch it or not, you decide. We'll just talk about it next week, right?
That's fine.
It's good with me.
Some reactions on that. Check it out.
New actors in it too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So interesting cast for sure.
Yeah, nice. I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it. So, okay.
And then I was going to do a comment shout out. Be sure to leave comments on our YouTube page if you're watching us on YouTube. And we like to shout some people out when they do.
Comment shout out.
What did they say?
We got Mike 73X99 says another awesome episode. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully see Jay as a guest soon. Consensus on sports games looks like NHL 94 wins. Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were enjoying that game for sure. And
I feel like we've had Jay as a guest for 3 episodes back twice in this episode. Hey, just come on back, man.
I was thinking of somehow I should get a a Jay head. So when he's doing his voicemail, I can just have his picture at least up or something like that. So he's still here in spirit.
Absolutely. 100%.
Sweet.
I know that backpack that I was showing earlier, he was very, very proud to see that. He said that's an oddity for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would fit on his show.
For
Nintendo oddities.
Speaking of NES Addict, though, did you guys watch his latest? Well, he posted somebody had come over. Some channel has come over to his attic, and which is really funny because I call him like it's funny that he's the NES Addict, but he has basically like the NES Addict. So I don't know. It's just like a play on words that I always thought was funny. But I watched the video and it had like kind of like what was the remainder of his collection and stuff. So
yeah,
it's a little sad to see like some of the stuff gone, but I'm glad that he's keeping some of that stuff that's really sentimental. And I think it's so cool that he has photos of like him playing games with like his dad and his brother and opening all that stuff up for Christmas and stuff. So
yeah. Keeping it alive.
Pretty cool.
Bam, bam. What we getting into, Dave?
We're getting into the Wheel of Doom. Are you guys ready? We got some new topics on the wheel. Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Wheel of Doom.
All right. If you guys don't know, the Wheel of Doom, we do at the end of the show. We have a bunch of topics on here, and we shuffle them up. We're going to spin it, and whatever it lands on, we're going to discuss for the next 10 minutes or so. You guys can give us suggestions for topics as well. Looks like we're chatting about school lunch. Let's go.
Now, this can go many ways. This can go in ways of what you brought to school lunch.
Okay.
Or even hot lunch. When you got like, I mean, when I was a kid, it was like $1.25 for hot lunch. So I think it can go either way here. So what are you thinking? What do you?
Did you guys have cafeterias at your school?
Yeah. Yes.
I did not.
Oh, really?
No cafeteria.
Where did you eat
at
lunch?
Any school. So we had like a lunchroom. There was no like warm food there. It was just
so you had to bring lunch every
day.
day.
Tables. Yeah, there was a microwave in there. You could microwave your lunch if you brought it with you.
One microwave for everyone.
Yeah. I live in a pretty small town.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you have like a go-to lunch that you would bring every day or like a certain snack that you would enjoy?
I mean, elementary school, it was gonna be like fruit by the foot. I remember when fruit by the
Yeah.
foot was a big thing, fruit
Okay.
roll-ups, Dunkaroos. Oh,
Yeah.
so I
More
love me some
snacks
Dunkaroos.
than like
Yeah, lots of
sandwiches.
I remember a lot of the snacks
Okay.
more than the I'm
Okay.
sure it was like whatever my mom made the night before would end up
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
lunch, but
Now did
sandwiches,
you
probably peanut
bring
butter and jelly.
did you brown bag it or did you have a
I
lunchbox?
I had a lunchbox, but it was like, like the soft lunch boxes. I never
Oh
had
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those
Yeah,
cool
you like
lunch
rolled up.
boxes with
Mhm.
like
The
something like
insulation
that, and then
one.
I'd brown bagged it when I was older,
Yeah.
or I just went across the street to A&W.
I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
brown bagging it in like when you were in elementary school, like a lot of the older kids did it. So like if you were a younger kid and you brown bagged it, like you were cool. But like if you had a lunchbox, not so much. You were like still a little kid. So I don't know. Maybe that was just my school, or maybe whatever. But that's just my experience anyway.
Fair enough.
But what about you, Russ? Did you have a lot of hot lunches, or did you brown bag it, or
So I had because we were poor, I got the free lunch.
nice?
That's
Ain't
my
no shame.
I grew up my parents divorced when I was very little, so I was able to get free lunch at school. I
Okay.
definitely obviously remember Friday's pizza day. You get your rectangle pizza
Mm-hmm.
on every Friday, and like maybe once a month they would do it on like French bread pizza. And
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, that was
Yeah.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
those. And then my other go-to was the chicken sandwiches, and I would just put ketchup on them. So now anytime I go to McDonald's and I get the chicken sandwich, I still do
Mm-hmm.
ketchup. And when I graduated, a few years after, I had known someone that was still in school, and I had them get me a chicken sandwich from the
Nice.
cafeteria.
Nice. I remember used to bring a lot of lunches, right? We used to when I was in grammar school, it was really cool. Like we had this we didn't have a lunchroom, we had a gymnasium that had tables that would fold into the walls. And so during lunchtime they would basically there would be a big table that they would pull out of the wall, as well as like these benches that were on each side of it, and it would be basically benches and the table coming out of the wall. um Used to have hot lunch there, but I also remember you used to be able to just go up there and get a snack as well. So you can get like
Mhm.
chips, you can get an ice cream bar, different kind of ice cream. So it was always a treat when my mom would give us money for a snack in addition to us bringing our lunches. Um I remember we had boxes, and we had all of our brown bags and stuff like that. Um, I mean I remember the fruit snacks, but I also remember you know mom making us a sandwich. We used to get the cold cuts every week. My dad had the grocery store, so he used to bring home cold cuts, and we used to make sandwiches for lunches every day, um, and put that in the lunchbox. I don't think we
Nice.
really used the thermoses all that much, though. I think we pretty much used just like juice boxes and stuff, though. I don't think we brought actual thermoses. Uh,
Gotcha.
and then when we were, and then fast forward to when I was in high school, um, our cafeteria was open like for the morning when you showed up at school before you went to homeroom, and then for lunch. So like in the morning, you were able to go through the line and
That's right, and get breakfast.
breakfast sandwiches, fries,
Wow.
whatever, and then when you were, there for lunchtime, you could just go up there and it's just à la carte, as opposed to grammar school where you got, like, a tray, and it
Mhm.
was various, 5 things that you would get on your tray. So I used to bring money all the time and just get, like the biggest thing was the boat of french fries. So
Okay.
the french fries were always popular in high school. And funny Russ should mention Friday
Pizza day.
was pizza day, because Friday is pizza day at my daughter's school. And that's pretty much the only day during the week that she gets lunch is she has Friday pizza day, and then she'll get a snack or something, during the week, and usually she'll get like a bag of chips or an ice cream or something like that. So I feel like it's pretty similar to like when I was in grammar school as well.
I was gonna say with how they divide it up, I wonder if they still do. Much like your school, Dave. When I went to high school, you can grab the breakfast in the morning,
Yeah.
kind of before your first period, and then
Mhm.
you would have a class. But then there was, so you would get assigned when lunch is, and the first opportunity to have lunch was still at like 10 in the morning or something. Like
Right.
maybe you had two classes and then you had to go to lunch. And I'm like, it's still breakfast. I got to have
Yeah, right.
lunch now. And then it's like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry when I get out of school.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I remember our high school, we had a ton of people in our lunchroom, and I don't really remember I don't remember if we had certain times or anything like that. I think we must have because the school was pretty big. But I went to a private school, so
Oh,
there was
okay.
way less students than a public school. I mean,
Gotcha.
I know the public school in Hamden where I grew up, I think they had like over 1,000 kids.
Mhm.
And the school that I went to, maybe 3 or 400, I don't know. It was an all boys private school
Okay.
in West Haven. I went to Notre Dame. So Russ
Oh,
knows
okay.
about Notre Dame, yeah.
Hmm.
So did you go to West Haven High?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys have a lot of students there?
I'd say so.
Yeah, so
It's pretty
they
bad.
probably broke up lunches and stuff. But
Yeah.
Keith, like for your lunches, um, so did you ever take advantage of the like was it a cool thing to take advantage of the microwave?
I I like there was a lot of, like, ramen noodle made in that
Okay.
microwave. Like, that was probably a lot. Like, so ours was
Okay.
always our lunch was always at, like, noontime. It was always
Okay.
a lunchtime, so there was never really moving around. It is like that here now, same town, gotten bigger, so the high school now does have like, yeah, they could have their lunch period could be first thing in the morning, right? And then they gotta go all day without
Okay.
this lunch period. But no, ours was very structured. We did have our spare classes where you would have like, oh, you'd have lunch and then no class and then class after. But um no, yeah, just a big long room with a bunch of old tables and chairs in it. There was a vending machine in the corner. You could get a chocolate bar or a bag of chips or a pop, but
Nice.
or
Forgot
so a
about those,
soda.
yeah.
Mhm.
So but yeah,
Did you have like so Russ and Keith, did you guys have like kind of a go-to snack that you would bring with your lunch like when you brought your own lunch in? Like do you have any I know Keith you mentioned fruit by the foot.
Mhm.
But anything else that you guys can think of like about the times that we were growing up? Because we're all very close to age.
yeah. I
I mean,
feel
the
I
staple
like
remember
was
pudding, right?
pudding.
fruit
Oh yeah,
leather, was
pudding
that
was
a
yeah.
thing for a bit?
Fruit leather.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
like
mean like fruit roll-ups.
yeah, it was like fruit roll-ups. So it was like my mom used
But
to
it
make like fruit leather at home and it was basically just homemade fruit roll-ups.
Okay.
right. So
Yeah.
for instance, so Russ, you'll when Gwen starts getting a little older, you'll probably buy these and they're basically strips of of of
Dried
fruit,
fruit, basically.
like
Yeah.
yeah, so it's basically a fruit roll up, but it's just like a flat, I don't know, like looks like basically like the size of your phone. Um
I mean, just
and it's just like
Yeah.
like
It's like a
Keith
sheet of
said,
paper that's
it's like leather. It looks like
perfect.
leather.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those were always yeah. And then you also actually speaking of fruit not fruit by the foot, but fruit roll ups, they then eventually had the cutouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that? So you used to be able to get different licenses, and then you'd be able to like take, they'd be kind of perforated within
Right. Right.
the
You're
fruit,
like
and then you could
pushing them out,
peel them
and
out,
you're like,
and
here it is.
yeah, and then those things always got stuck to the roof of your mouth
Yeah.
all the time.
I feel like there
But
was
what
a
about
lot of good snacks back then.
yeah? I mean, there's shark bites.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
go with
Definitely miss those.
the great white sharks,
Gushers.
gushers. I still eat gushers. Do you know they still make those?
Yeah, I had some the other day.
Whenever I'm on a movie set, they always have gushers, and I'm always eating those all day long. Like they're still great. They're a lot smaller than I remember them, but maybe it's just because
Yeah.
I got bigger. So
Now we're
I got
full-grown
bigger.
humans, right?
we're full grown humans, so they got a little bit smaller.
I will say in my cafeteria, this was super unique and like cutting edge at the time, but they ended up they called it was in our lunchroom, and it was like plexiglass off, and it was the cyber cafe, and they had computers that you can go and use while you're on your lunch break, so you can eat your food and then go into the cyber cafe, and they had like glass doors or whatever so people could see in there. So I remember like surfing the web, and I definitely distinctly remember jumping on eBay and ordering myself a ninja sword.
wow.
That I still have. It's at my mom's. I got it, hacked up some tree in the backyard with it, and then just put it away.
How did you
Which,
pay
like,
for it? Was that when you had to like send a check?
I don't even know. The early days, I must have had to send in a check or a money order or something. It wasn't instant. It was probably like I
Wild.
want it. It was send the check in a week, and we'll get it in 3 weeks. But Cyber
Wild
Cafe,
time.
I have a
That's
T-shirt
crazy.
somewhere. West Haven High Cyber Cafe.
I feel like
Interesting.
the computer lab was always full at lunchtime too, right? Did you guys
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
too? Like it was always
That
just
must have
packed
been
because that was the only
taking. Yeah,
places where there was computers, right?
right.
Well, so I think you guys are a year younger than me. Is that correct? Because I think I graduated in '98.
Oh, okay. 2000.
Yeah,
2000. What
2000.
about you, Keith? Okay,
Yeah.
so for me, the internet was just starting like my junior and senior year. So we didn't really have computers in our school, or rather we didn't have internet, I should say. We had like
Yeah.
the T3 connections, um and we only I think the school may have only had like 6 or 7 computers in the library, and there's not really much you could do for internet stuff. So
Right.
I think you guys got a little bit more experience with that than I did for high school anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely made school lunch interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Wrapping it up, guys. If you guys want to get in on this week's game of the week, our Warp Pipe rental, again, we're going to be playing Captain America and the Avengers on Sega Genesis. Get yourself a copy of that game right there. Fun beat 'em up for sure. And next week, we're going to be covering why play retro games in 2025. Well, something to think about. Why stick to these retro games? So much new stuff out. We'll get into that topic next week. Keith, where can we find you if people want to check out your stuff?
Check me out on YouTube, Retro Cart Collector. You can also check me out on Instagram, but like David said, I don't use that a whole lot. But definitely check out YouTube. New video every Sunday morning. So should be hopefully something out this week. We'll see.
Nice. What about you, Dave?
For me, currently, right now, you could just check me out on Instagram. It's David.Apuzzo. So you can look at my name here and just put a little dot in the middle. That's how you could find me. And then also find me on the Weekly Warp Pipe, every week, and updating the Weekly Warp Pipe Instagram. So give a shout out and say hello.
Nice. Again,
How
if
about
you
you,
guys want,
Russ?
you can check out my YouTubes under Russ Lyman. I try to put out a video at least a week, once a week. We'll see. Sometimes maybe I could get some more stuff out. Again, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all that jazz there. We'll be updating the Weekly Warp Pipe website. So we'll have some cool, fun stuff for you guys there. And you can always check out the new shows every Saturday at 7 a.m. We're dropping those, and we're also dropping clippets from the show itself to maybe gain some more followers, listeners of the podcast. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we'll get the Weekly Warp Pipe name out there a little bit more. Quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Trace Livingood, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Retroholic 16, and Austin Mills supporting the show. Guys want to sign up, it's through my Patreon. It's over on patreon.com/Russ Lyman. And also a quick shout out to Bull Airs.
sponsor of the podcast. They got awesome custom shoes, clothing, video game stuff over there, and you can save 10% off if you use the code WARP10 at checkout. That wraps it up for this weekly Warp Pipe, guys. Hope you enjoyed jumping in the Warp Pipe with us, and we'll see you on the next level.